Hello everyone. I'm so glad you have joined me today. I love sharing my ideas with you and I hope I inspire you with today's creation. This is my last day for playing with dies to create masks or stencils. And today I use the rectangle stitched framelits, and I used the smallest long rectangle and the next three up from there. So the 4 in a row from there. And then I use my window sheets to create my masks. Now, I will tell you, you are going to be using most of the time this one, but you'll also need this one. So you're going to be using with that most of the pieces. And there's the card we're going to make. Isn't it just cute? I just loved it, and I had to add the butterflies in with some sponging also. So let's get started. You're going to need a piece of white cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 5. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your smallest mask, all right? And in this case, and I forgot to put some, this is removable adhesive, and you just need a little bit on the back, and then so it doesn't leave a mark, I just kind of rub it on my pants. But you're going to use this, and you're going to lay this down on your paper, and you want it as straight on there as you can get. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take this piece and I'll put it down, make sure it's where I want it and it's straight, it's evenly spaced. I'll stick it down, and then I just put this one on top and stick it down, and it's not on there straight. I can see by the way it went. Okay, now, well, it's still not on there straight. I'm trying to stick it down too soon. All right, now I've got it. All right, and then I'm going to take this piece in the middle out, which means you have to kind of bend it to get it to come up. Now, you want to get rid of your removable adhesive, because if you don't, it's going to leave a mark. So let me get my eraser. All right, and we used to carry these years ago, and we no longer carry them, but I know you can still buy them. So I removed that adhesive as best as I can. Now we're going to take Sahara sand, and my colors came from the Seaside, or the stamp set that's in the mini catalog, and the paper, it's got the shells to it. I don't know what it's called. All right, and I'm again starting off my paper and working my way in. And the reason you want to do that is you avoid getting blobs, for lack of a better term, and I know it's not a technical term, but that's what happens. And you'll have a lot of ink on your mask that you can pull in, so make sure you just keep working it. And when you get it to the point that you're happy, like so. All right, and I think I'm going to leave it at that. Maybe a little bit more going in this way. There we go, that's better. All right, and then I'm going to take this off. Now I'm not worried about those pieces because I'm going to be using more masks, and it'll get on there and I'll just get it off at the end. This has ink all over it, so be careful and then watch your fingers because you'll get them on your fingers. All right, we're going to go to the next one up. All right, and you're going to go back to this one, and you're going to put it over top like so. And then this one You want to put down, oh, there's no adhesive on this either. Oh, that's right, I had to cut a couple of extra. I couldn't find my pieces. I don't know if I accidentally threw them away or what. All right, so I'm going to put this down, and now I'm watching this piece and seeing that it's centered. My next color I used is So Saffron. So I'm going to grab another blending brush, and I'm just going to go in. Oops, that one's moving. Be careful. I'm going to have to hold that one, I think. And get it colored in, and just keep working the ink till you get it to the point that you like. Slid on me. So I'm just going to work my ink all the way around, and I'm starting off on the window sheet so that I get a nice blend of color. And it's okay if you get some that is darker or lighter than the other. All right, now this I'm going to slide over just slightly. The window sheet has a, when you cut it, it has that inside piece has a little lip around it. I gotta put some more over here. It's not dark enough here. There we go. So sometimes, and you'll see it on this, there's a little bit of white. So I just kind of shift it. There's a little bit of a halo there also, but that is okay. All right, now I'm going to take this one off. Again, I'm not worried about those pieces. I will get them off at the end, although I don't want it to build up too much. So I think I'm going to go ahead and erase them off. You do have to be careful. Depending on your paper, it may rip. So when you take your mask off, be very careful. It's kind of ripped there, so I'm going to have to be careful. But it's not anything that you can notice. You can just take a sanding block and work it out. All right, so we've got our yellow. Now we're ready for our blue, and our blue is Seaside Spray. Make sure you don't mix up your brushes. All right, and I'm going up to the next one. But before I go, I'm going to put this down in the center, like so. And I'm going to take my next one up. And again, I'm centering it. All right, and then this is not stuck down. So I'm going to start at the bottom. So, because it's upside down, that's why. I'm going to start at the bottom piece, so I'll even it up with the, and I'm going to hold it in place, and I'm going to add my blue, and it's slipping on me, so I got to be careful. Yeah, you don't want your blue and your yellow to mix because you'll get green, so hold it tight. You may need to add some more. Turn this around. I'm using a heavy hand. All right, now I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to move it over even with this edge. And when I get it there, I'm going to hold it in place. And I will have ink everywhere, but that's okay. I'm just going to go up the side. All right, now I'm going to turn this so that I can line this up a little bit better, like so. And I can hold it in place. ink it around. Okay, my last piece, and I'm going to move this again so it's even with the side. I'm going to hold it in place. Well, everything's moving on me. It really isn't as hard as it looks. I think I'm using too heavy of a hand. And I may have lost the stickiness on my mask, so okay. Got it. Whew. That one was interesting. All right, I'm going to take this off. It is sticking. I don't know why. Maybe it's just not enough stickum. All right, then I'm going to take my last piece. All right, I'm going to wait. I'm going to put this on first, and I'm going to center it. Be careful that you don't pull on the stencil. There. And then this is going to go, I'm going to start on this side. So I'm going to stick it there. And then the last color I'm going to use is Flirty Flamingo. All right. Getting finished up. All right. And just hold it in place and work your way around. Cut your stencil bigger than you need the window sheet, because that gives you some area to blend off on. I'm going to move this. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to put this down here like so. All right. And before I take all these pieces off, I'm going to make sure I wipe my hands off so all my ink is not on my hand. Because see, I've got Calypso Coral on there. Now see, this is going to have an edge, but that's okay. I think it adds a little interest. Like so. And really and truthfully, as I see it, this side is really not as wide as the other. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it over ever so slightly to give me a little bit of extra space. So you have a little bit of leadway, and just kind of blend it and that spot will disappear. That line. There we go. Yeah, see, look at all the, I'm going to have to be real careful. That looks a little better. And then I'm going to move this down. And I'm going to hold it in place and do my last edge. All right. Give me a minute to wipe my hands off so I don't get ink all over my completed project. And that looks crooked, but it could be me. If not, it's okay. All right, I don't think the ink will come off anymore. It's still on my hand, but I don't think it'll come off. All right, so there we go. No, it's not crooked. It was just me. I was looking at it funny. All right, so there's our piece. We're then just gonna layer it, and each layer, oops, before I go too far, let me do this before I forget. Gonna take off my glue. All right, I think I got it. And if you've got some that you don't like, use your butterflies to hide them. All right, each piece is 1/8 of an inch bigger. So this was 3 3/4 by 5. So this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So let me add this to it. Oops, you know what I'm gonna do? I don't know if I have ink because I didn't use a paper underneath. So I'm gonna wipe this off because I would hate to put this whole thing together and then have glue, or not glue, but ink where it shouldn't be. All right, so I've got that. I'm gonna add that to here. All right, the next one up is 5 1/4 by 4, and it is your Seaside Spray. Okay. Then to set it off, you need a piece of white, and it is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So just 1/8 of an inch bigger. And then this is all going to go onto a Calypso Coral card base. Okay, got that. And let me find my bone folder hidden over here. Now, when you're finished with your masks, make sure you wash them and save them because you can use them over and over again. That's the beauty of the window sheets. All right, this goes on my card base. I'm gonna open it up so I make sure I put it on the front. Wouldn't wanna go through all that work and then have it messed up. So there it is. All right, so there's our card base. Oh, no, 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 no. Let me get it off real quick. Guess what? I forgot my ribbon. See how quickly it grabs? Come on, come on. Okay. Whew. That was scary. All right. Let me get my ribbon out. And it is the Seaside Spray ribbon. The metallic ribbon. I love this ribbon. I am going to be sad that it will disappear. And I wanted it, I had a mistake there, so I hid it. It's kind of funky there, so I will do the same thing here. I'm going to pull out my tear and tape. Of course, the fun part is finding the beginning of your tear and tape. There it is. All right, here we go. Boy, that was fast. I know you were yelling at me, ribbon, ribbon, and I didn't hear you. All right, so right about there and there. And I didn't really mess up too badly that I can just add some more glue on the back. Okay, now let me get my ribbon on. I'll put it just under that spot. Make sure it's straight across. Okay, and I'm going to put another piece of tear and tape on the top, And now I can attach it to my card. Boy, am I glad I caught that before the glue stuck down. So, I gotta add more glue and try this again. I'm just glad I didn't mess up my card base, or I'd be cutting a new card base. But that's okay, because you can then use this as a layer. All right, let's add some more glue. I'm gonna try to add it in different spots than before. All right, now here we go. So as you can see, it grabs pretty quick. There we go. Woo! Boy, am I glad I... All right, to make my butterflies, I'm going to take the butterfly from Positive Thoughts and the coordinating dies, Nature's Thoughts, to cut it out. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my butterfly 3 times. So there's 1. And I'm leaving some space in between because I'm going to take and use my brushes to add the color to these butterflies. So I need some space to be able to blend it in. All right, let's see, which one was this? Oh, that's the yellow. So I'm going to start down here. I may need some more color, and it looks like I do. I did not use the Sahara sand on them. I just use the 3 colors. So I'm going to add that there. And notice I'm starting off and working my way in. Again, I'm going to add that there. On this one, I'm just going to add it up here. And on this one, I think I'm going to go here. And that'll be it. So there's my So Saffron. The next color I need is my Seaside Spray. I think this is the Seaside Spray one. Actually, there's hardly any left. So I'm gonna add this and just come in. It'll just give it a real light coating or coloring. That one does not want to come up. There we go. And I'm going to go down into this. I have a spot in here that I've used a lot, so it needs to be re-inked. You can kind of see. All right. On this one, I'm going to do this bottom. And I'm trying to vary where I put them. And this bottom. All right, and on the last one, I'm going to do this piece up here. And what I'm doing is I'm starting off, but I'm going down toward the center, and that gets some of that blue down there. All right, and my last color is the Calypso Coral. And then I can cut these out. So I'm gonna get my Calypso Coral on here. And this is easy because all I have left are the pieces that aren't colored. So I can go down in there and blend it in. All right. And I'm not worried about having the ink show up when I cut this out. It just adds a little interest. All right, I've got them done. So I'm going to use the coordinating die and cut them out. Okay, my butterflies are cut out, and like I said, I didn't worry about the ink being below it. I think it just adds a little bit of interest. So I'm going to add a dimensional on the back of each of these, and I forgot to, before I put them down, I forgot to add some Wink of Stella to the wings, which gives it some sparkle and also helps to blend those colors. So let me do that real quick. Bit of a challenge with it being on a dimensional, but I'm getting there. All right, so there's our sparkle on our wings. I'm gonna take the backs off. It's sticking to me. Must have something sticky on my hand. Probably glue from where I pulled that back up. All right, now I'm gonna put, and I strategically placed them. This one I'm gonna put there, and I've got a spot down here, so I'm gonna put one there to hide it. It's where the paper ripped. And then this one I'm gonna put up here. So I went in the opposite direction this time. Now I need a bow. So I'm gonna tie a bow real quick. And there we go. Take my ribbon scissors and trim it up. And I have to tell you, I don't have much left. Whew. I won't be buying more as much as I love it because this color is retiring, unfortunately. All right, so I'm going to take and put a glue dot on each side of the knot, and I'll show you in just a minute, so that I've got a glue dot there, and that helps hold that knot so it doesn't pull out if it catches on anything. All right, the only thing I have left is to add my rhinestones, and I'm gonna add, I added 2, so I'm gonna take these strips. These are the old way they used to package them. I really am going to miss this when I have mine all used up, because it was so nice having them in a line and then just cutting them apart. All right, and I'm going to add it there. I'm gonna get 2 more. I'm gonna add it there, and my last 2, oops, upside down, and add it there. And there it is. And because we don't want any naked insides or envelopes, stamp your butterfly. And then I use sponge daubers to color those because I didn't want the blending brushes too far out, and I could control it a little bit better. I hope you've enjoyed this week of using your dies to create masks and stencils, and that you'll give it a try. Share it with me if you do. If you want to see the supplies I use, there's a link below and you can click on it and it'll take you to my online store with all the objects in the cart, and you can pick and choose what you want. If you haven't signed up for my newsletter, there's a link down there to do that also. Don't miss out on my ideas. I hope you have a fabulous week. Join me back on Wednesday when I will be back, and this week I'm going to be featuring a celebration stamp set. Have a great day.